Hi everyone. Just talk a little bit about the signs of spring today. Okay, so if you can see here, spring being one of the 4 seasons, the buds are starting to come out on the trees and the blossoms are starting to come out, or the flowers are starting to come out as well. Now, when we went to the park, do you remember, we collected leaves in autumn, and winter time the leaves were bare, so we've gone in those 2 times. And if you're able to go to the park in the next few weeks, you'll see that the buds are starting to come back out on those trees that we were looking at back in autumn. Okay, and then during the summer they'll be full in bloom. Okay, so that's one of the first signs of spring. All right, so then now it's different in different parts of the world, but like the months of spring for us are February, March and April. February, March and April. Okay, now, so what does spring look like? Well, different things for different people, you know. Spring weather can be mixed. It can be snowy, it can be windy, it can be nice. So different types of days in spring. Okay, now in the evening time then you might notice that daylight gets longer and longer during the spring months, and it could still be light when you go to bed eventually, but probably not until summer actually. So things you might notice, signs of spring, you might have the snowdrop or bulbs shooting out of the ground. Daffodils are definitely a sign of spring, and by St. Patrick's Day you'll probably see lots of daffodils, crocuses, different blossoms you're going to see, and some flower buds coming out. Okay, so then more signs of spring. Chicks, and I heard someone telling me today that they had 13 lambs already. Tadpoles, the bees also start coming back, and they're very necessary to pollinate the flowers. So how is spring different to autumn? Well, you know, there's lots of different ways it's different, but you'll be able to figure that out yourselves. And how's it different to winter and to summer? Now, okay, that's not really relevant to us, that's England. Now, spring falls in different months of the year depending on where you are in the world. So the United Kingdom or Ireland, it's in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, so this is the Northern Hemisphere and there's Ireland just there. Okay, and the bottom half is called, where are we going to now? The bottom half is called the Southern Hemisphere, and the two hemispheres are split by an imaginary line called the equator. Can you see it? And the closer you are to the equator, the hotter the temperature. I think we spoke about that before. Spring around the world. Yeah, so share 2 things that you have learned about spring. Okay, and if there's any signs of spring that you see on the chart that I'm going to attach with this as part of the geography for today, you can tell me.